All right. Welcome. I'm here with my buddy. Welcome to
Hey guys.
Trade. I'm with GM Hebert. It is me, DM Tauzy. We're going to be talking about today, we're talking about scarcity and resource management in TTRPGs. There's a lot to talk about.
There really is.
There's so much to talk about. That's a huge topic, but I love it because there's so much we can learn from this. Is like the big thing we can learn from old school gaming. The one thing we can take away from that is resource management, because a lot of the way gaming, at least a lot of the way gaming is like written these days, is they're kind of getting away from resource management. But I still love it so much.
I mean, I like it
so
and
much.
I don't think 5e is particularly good at resource management because it's almost like superheroic role playing. Like
It is, yeah.
characters are superheroes.
Yeah, sure.
But, we just talked about Shadow Dark, and Shadow Dark is a hack of 5e that basically emulates old school games, and they found a way to make resource management fun and not granular. And that's what I liked, because I get sick of counting arrows, right?
Right.
I get that level of granularity or weight of coins. I don't like it. Shadow Dark's like, well, your strength gives you either 10 slots or your strength score in slots if it's above 10.
Right.
And an item takes up a slot, with some items taking up 2 slots. And it's like, okay, I can grasp that, right? Like, I'm not good at math. I can do basic addition and subtraction, but the resource management of tonnage and stuff like that, that's just not fun for me. But seeing a list, I can do that. I can understand that.
Well, I think Matt Colville did a talk one time where he showed the equipment list in 5e, and he showed everything you can have in 5e, including starting with the bedroll, all the way down to caltrops, then all the way down to horses and buggies, everything you can buy in the 5e equipment list. And he's like, do you need any of this? And the answer, I was like, wow, you really don't. You really, in the game of 5e, you don't need 90% of that shit.
Now, I will say though, in my Dungeons of Drakkenheim in-person game, my new players that have never played D&D before, they looked at their character sheet and saw that they had manacles.
Yeah.
We're fighting a boss who, when she flapped her wings, created an aura of damage. And the fighter's like, well, I have advantage on all athletics checks, so can I tackle her and shackle her wings together so that stops? And I was like, that was a really cool use of resources and stuff like that. And
yeah. No, there's I would say there are about 10 items on that huge list that are really
cool.
Rope, your rope, your caltrops, 10-foot pole, your rations, always good for little critters. Not for eating yourself. No, it's not about that. And then maybe a couple other things. Yeah, the grappling hook, always good. But outside of that, you just don't use a lot of shit. And I think a lot of it has to do with cantrips. I think when they made a decision to make cantrips just a perpetual infinite supply of magic.
Fire.
Yeah, fire, really. Yeah, fire, that's a big one. Perpetual infinite fire. They changed the game. The game really changed hard to where you didn't need you didn't need to drop down. You mentioned how you don't like how a wizard, or you like.
Man, I hated wizards only having one spell, and then for most of the early adventures, you're shooting a crossbow. It's that is the least wizard thing you can possibly do, right?
Yeah. So
I do want to say, I see where you're coming from though, because when light is a first level spell, it doesn't trivialize torches.
It really doesn't. Yeah. Also another thing, and this can't be discounted, but light really changed things when you firebolt, and all the low damage that scales into mid and actually decent damage cantrips that sometimes eclipse fighters' swords. Those really changed the game. But even smaller things like prestidigitation, the ability to clean yourself for free when a dungeon, the point of a dungeon is that it gets you dirty. It gets you dirty. There's nothing you can do about it. You're going through sewer. Right. But if you just prestidigitate and get rid of it, you've gotten rid of the mystique of a shit-stained dungeon.
Now, I do want to say there is a game that I played for a while that I really liked. I have every book released by it that does resource management, old school dungeon crawling, and stuff like that. It's Free League's Forbidden Lands, which is
Oh,
a house crawl game, and I'm not 100% sold on their combat system. Like it's almost needlessly complicated using
right.
d6s, but the game was quite fun, and we were always like struggling to explore. Like the exploration was supported as a game mode, and it definitely felt old school. But like the thing where I come in on resource management is like I really like resource management in games that make resource management like central to like the fun of the rules.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like 5e for me, it's almost too disconnected from resource management. Like you said, there's not many items you actually need of the thousands of items you can buy.
There,
And you're superheroes.
you could get away from that though. There's ways to do it. The dungeon dudes kind of had an idea, and I took that running. Theirs was the Points of Darkness campaign, a Points of Darkness idea, which is some creatures have legendary auras, and in those legendary auras you cannot long rest. So
And
that opens
that's
the
the
door.
Dungeons of Drakenheim, right?
Yeah, that's Dungeons and Dragons.
The
So
city does not allow a long rest until
yeah,
you secure a tower inside the city tall enough that it goes above the radiation.
that's so cool. That's so cool because that's like an objective that you have, that within the space of that objective you have to manage your resources.
And you know,
Yeah,
I'm running 2 Dungeons of Drakenheim games, and they both literally just got that tower, and they're all super excited. They're like, "You mean we can go in the inner city and not have to like trek across 8 hours of like hostile terrain to get back to the inn where we can be safe?" It's like, yeah, dude, it's like y'all, that's a big thing.
yeah, yeah. It's a big deal. I think because they talk about this in Tomb of Annihilation. They actually talk about it in the actual module, but they're like, you can make it. You can do a Points of Light campaign here, where you can trek through Chult, but you cannot effectively long rest through Chult. But if you do that, then random encounters probably shouldn't be as brutal because then if you're doing that, then the entire map is a dungeon, which is a unique way to think of it. Like it's no longer an outside event; it's now something that's linked to where they're going. Because if they can't long rest, it's all linked. And so I think that's what I'm going to do from now on, because I think it becomes too easy. Or it also becomes too explodey. It becomes too everybody goes Nova.
Yeah.
Because why not? Why wouldn't you go Nova if you're not physically demanded to?
And you know, it's fun when you have games that push against that. I remember my group that I'm running online for Dungeons of Drakenheim, they lost an adventure. And one of the players was like, I've never had that happen before. They fled in the middle of the adventure and then came back the next week and had to deal with the fallout of like
Hell yeah.
The rattling burrow was on alert. Like it was cool. They were like, yeah, we've never, like all of them were like, we've never failed at an adventure in 5e before.
That's great. They ran. Yeah, it's great. Sometimes it's a run.
But they kept going Nova. That's what made me think of it. They were like, oh well, we go Nova, the 5-minute workday, blah 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 blah. Like, you know, it wouldn't be that bad. No, it was a dungeon beneath the ground with traps by intelligent rat creatures, and like, you know, they went at it.
Yep. I think it's just something that like we used to give up in 5e, like the equipment list, all the mundane stuff. It just, that isn't a resource anymore. You just have to give it up, because if you're saying cantrips are permanent and perpetual and infinite, then you've utterly changed the fantasy of the world.
And also create water.
It's a huge spell.
There goes the entire Dark Sun campaign, right?
Gone.
You got to ban it. You got to ban it, or the campaign doesn't work. Or any desert campaign at that point, you know.
No, I banned that spell in Soroka, which is a desert campaign.
Good.
I banned Create Water. I also changed Goodberry to Good Raisin. Because it doesn't saturate you. It doesn't. There's a problem in the desert where water is difficult to find, so you do have to track your water. And the tracking is not so much like, I know that there can be a minutia to it, but also I would say some people really do like to track the minutia.
Yeah, and just because I'm not one of those people doesn't mean that those people don't exist.
Yeah.
Like they call the play style fantasy Vietnam or something like that. I've seen that on like different message boards. And those are the same people that talk about combat as war versus combat as skirmish. And
right.
Some of it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you just tell me that I pretend to be an elf in a wrong way. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. There was also that Colville, I think it was Matt Colville talking about, playing fantasy as a war as opposed to a board game. Where he had someone who was in the military who was playing, because when you get people in the military who play D&D, it's something very different.
It's intense. If
intense.
They really get into it.
They really get into it, and they showed, apparently someone showed him the equipment list, and he didn't buy any armor, he didn't buy any weapons, he just bought cages and dogs and oil. Because he was like, well, if we need to get the goblins in that cave, we're gonna burn them out, and then we're gonna send the dogs. Like, it's such a but it's like, oh yeah, that's what you would do. Yeah,
that would be. I mean, that's what I would pay someone to do if I were in a fantasy world. Like, I was like,
why would I
pay a bunch of adventurers to go when, like, there's lots of dogs.
There's lots of dogs. Why would I strap metal armor to myself and go with a sharp stick and go try and kill them? No.
I mean, the thing about metal armor, if you think about it, is if it becomes important, you've already failed.
Yeah.
Right? You've been hit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
just like the opposite of what you should be doing.
It's like when people make a like a high AC wizard. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Why are you getting struck in combat? Just make a glass cannon. You know your job. You're not supposed to be hit.
Or make a fun controller. Sometimes it's fun to debuff. And sometimes it's really fun to debuff, actually. And just dick over the DM's monsters.
Yep. I've been there before. I felt that. Yeah, man. I think, I kind of want a system like Shadow Dark, but I also want a system kind of like Numenaria, or Numenera. What's it called? Numenara. Yeah, where I don't roll anything.
Yeah,
I love that. I'm so tired of rolling dice.
You could just do Powered by the Apocalypse games where you don't roll anything.
Oh, that's nice.
That's the cool thing. Like, players roll everything.
I love that. I love that so much.
I mean, I've had a lot of success running Apocalypse World for people, and different Apocalypse World style games. Like, I don't know, even the Blades in the Dark and the Powered by the Dark, which is a variation of the Apocalypse engine. Like, those games are really fun too. Yeah. And there's a Kickstarter for a new Blades in the Dark game. For people who don't know, Blades in the Dark is a game where the DM does not roll anything, and the players are a crew of criminals in a post-apocalyptic city in a world where the sun is dead. And it's just darkness. There are ghosts everywhere. It's been hundreds of years since the world ended, and people go off into the darkened seas to hunt leviathans because leviathan blood warms the city enough to stay alive. Well, there's a Kickstarter out advancing the timeline 100 years, so it's basically like the Roaring 60s. In this post-apocalyptic fantasy world with electric stuff. It's really cool. So I, of course, kicked in. But that was, I will say, the single best group I've ever had for a game I was a player in, other than groups with theater people. And this was a group of theater people, actually. We were playing Blades in the Dark, and they let me pick the type of crew we would be. And I was like, oh, well, we're a cult, obviously. And they're like, okay. And I was like, so I asked the DM, who was a former student of mine at LSU, I was like, so I want to be a sun cult. And he's like, in a world without a sun? I'm like, well, the sun's there. He's in our basement. He's kind of been locked there for 1,000 years. And we were sun worshipers in a city where there was no sun, trying to reestablish a sun cult while drinking the sun god's blood. It was really bizarre and screwed up, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, who was the sun god? Was it an actual person?
I called him the Sun Triumphant since he lost before the game started. I thought that was a nice, ironic name. um, and like it was, I played a character that I imagined which I am now, like a 50-year, I'm 45, but a 50-year-old pudgy professor who's broken bad, like Walter White. But he's just running a cult. So his name was Father Twilight, and everyone else in the game was part of his cult. And occasionally he would get in bar fights. Occasionally he would just show up in scenes dressed as a satyr. But I just imagine like a college professor turned into Walter White, and it was very fun.
Yeah.
So but yeah, like games like that where you don't roll, as long as you've got a good concept, like your players can really make everything happen. And I like Blades in the Dark because the only mechanic the GM does is draw clocks, which are timers for bad things happening. And you have to fill the clock with successes before a certain number of failures cause things to go wrong.
Do the successes lengthen the clock, or
successes shorten the wait? So you basically have to, so like if you have to get 4 successes, it's basically everything's a skill challenge.
Right.
And the clock, and you have positive clocks and negative clocks, and it's like the GM advice is just draw clocks for everything. And the game also has a really cool downtime mechanic where between heists you do downtime stuff like build up your base or your hideout.
Nice.
So I don't know. I play all the weird non D&D games just because a lot of my groups are down to try anything. But I've been in the D&D mood lately. So
I'm always in D&D mood. Can't help it. It's all over the place.
Really want to run another Unknown Armies game.
Fucking badass. Yeah.
The 3rd edition's really fun. I know some of my friends have some issues with the mechanics. I think it's just fine. But
what's all the mechanics?
So your skills fluctuate based on your madness meters. So the more hardened you get in certain respects, the better some skills will be and the worse other skills will be, which doesn't make sense for a lot of people because they're like, why does me becoming more isolated affect my social life?
What do you mean? Of course it affects your social life.
Right, I just screwed that up. Why does me becoming more isolated affect my drive ability?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Right.
But I don't know. I really liked it. I thought the mechanics were fine for Unknown.
Right.
Like, it's the single best. Like, it and 13th Age are my 2 favorite. Like, come up with a campaign together settings. Like the Session 0 stuff. Unknown Armies 3rd Edition Session 0 is you just get a cork board and you make a conspiracy theory board with all the players. And everyone gets to write stuff down. So like I remember my favorite conspiracy theory board, we set the game in Houston, and I suggested as the DM or the GM, I was like, well, what if the like traffic circle is a summoning sigil that traps ghosts in Houston? And that was kind of the big thing of the game. Like half the traffic in the Houston traffic circle was ghosts that can't find their way out. And just kind of everything went from there. I remember that was a game where one of my players, she started off with, she's like, I want to be able to do real magic, like rituals. And I was like, cool. So I gave her a ritual that you could, to summon a demon, you just had to take a drill and put an electric drill in someone's skull and trepan them. And that's how you let the demon in. Session 1, she tortured someone and did that. It was pretty awesome. I was like, yeah, if you give the players stuff, even if it's obviously evil stuff you shouldn't do, they're going to play with the toys.
Yeah. I mean, everything's a bunch of nails. We give them a hammer.
Yeah, when you got the hammer. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I've gone way
No,
off.
that's okay. That's all right.
Of resource management, but I've really enjoyed the games where resource management is a central mechanic. So like, I would probably be really into trying the Dungeon Crawl Classics game too, because they have some really good adventure writers, and I know that game does a lot of meat grinders.
Right.
And for people not familiar with meat grinders, it's where you each like play a certain number of level 0 characters, and the ones that survive get to be your level 1 character.
Yeah.
So those are fun. I know Harley Stroh has written a lot of really good meat grinders. There's a blog I go to that's a D&D meat grinder. I'm pulling up my thing. I think it's the Goblin Punch blog. Anyway, that he came up with this adventure called The Lair of the Lamb. That's really good, and it's there. All the players are captured sacrifices to the Son of God, which is this creature the size of a cow called the Lamb, that speaks and it rubs itself against the walls, and it's constantly crying.
Oh, you told me about this. Yes.
Yeah, man, it's cool.
As fuck.
It's really creepy, it was a fun meat grinder. Like the players were super excited at the end of it. They're like, "Oh my god! So my character, if we play again, could be a wizard." Yeah, man. He's got a high int, so
yeah,
that's how it works.
He went through the gauntlet, man. Yeah, he made it.
He survived the meat grinder.
Yeah,
Shadow of the Demon Lord has some meat grinders as well too. That looked pretty cool.
I wanted to tell you because I did get it. I suckered. I spent the money and I bought DQ7. I bought Dragon Quest 7. I've been playing it. I'm towards the end. I'm getting towards the end.
You're 70 hours in?
No, not 70 hours in. They shortened it big time. They
shortened it from 150 hours to 70 hours.
They really did. But I eat games. I know how to eat them. I know how to play them.
All right.
Like if I've played it before, I know. When something's a 70-hour game, I'll beat it in 50 or maybe even like 45. Like I will tear through the game, which is bad. Like I should try to enjoy it more, but I just like to eat. I like to go through it.
Yeah.
It's good, man. They know what they're doing.
Square Enix really.
They know what they're doing.
Series.
They get it. They get the game. It does have one part that I thought of you when it happened because it's so tonally separate from the rest of DQ.
What was it?
It's when you get to All Trades Abbey in DQ7, and I forgot about this because I remember playing it on PS1 or something.
And you get imprisoned, right?
You get imprisoned.
Yeah, I remember that. It's
not just like normally in prison. It's one of those things. I call it like Harry Potter torture because like that's the formula behind Harry Potter. It's just like take a kid that you love and then just beat the living fuck out of him.
I mean, it's like he's the kid in Omelas in the story, The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelas, the city where like everyone's happy, but there's a kid that's kept in a darkened room in perfect neglect, and everyone knows about the kid. But that's the price to live in utopia.
That's the price you pay. Yeah.
But there are some people, you see, some of them choose to walk away from Omelas.
And this one has DQ7 has a very dark, just like the rest of the plots in DQ7 are just like real dumb, real stupid. Like there's a.
But I loved them when
they're great. No, they're wonderful.
2001, they were super
wonderful.
Fun.
There's just like there's a fish monster who's poisoning the river, and all the villagers are sick, and you got to go.
There's Egypt country.
Yeah, there's Egypt country, and then there's a curse there.
Fun.
You go beat him up, and then you solve it. This one, but when you get to All Trades, it's like there's a demon who has impersonated the high priest at All Trades. Once you get there, he curses you. He throws you in the town with all the other people who he's conned, right?
Yes.
And then this is where it gets real dark. And then they introduce the idea of like one of his subdemons brings the soul slicer or the soul piercer, which is a sword that he gives to people. He says, "You can take this if you kill 5 other people. We'll give you," because what happens is you go to the town, they take all your skills away. You thought you were getting more skills because you're going to All Trades. Take all your skills away.
Yeah.
He gives you the soul slicer or whatever it's called, and it or to somebody there, and they're like, if you kill 5 souls, we'll give you your skills back.
Well, yeah.
And so like people do it, obviously.
Yeah.
But even then they're not free, because then those people have to fight each other in a battle arena type deal, which is, and you have to fight your way through all of that. You have to like,
of course you do, just like in Dragon Quest 4 in chapter 2, Alina's chapter.
Which one's that?
Chapter's the Chosen. That's the princess, and the end of the chapter is that stupid arena, and you have to have medicinal herbs to get through it. But Alina in Dragon Quest 4 has no skills. She just attacks with a claw.
Great.
All you do is hit attack.
God damn it.
Attack again, cool. Like what a great
it's rough.
Fight.
It's so jarring and like tonally different that as and it's one of those things where like that you're supposed to lose these like a bunch of fights because the game's characters are like taking you by the back of the head and just like rubbing you like you suck.
Yeah.
You know how much you suck.
And how dare you try to play this game and have fun?
That's what they do. But they never do it
You
the rest of the
baby,
game.
you fucking child.
But like as a player, like it sucks and I'm insulted and I'm like, God damn it, man, I don't like this. But as dramatically, I'm like,
Good. Yeah,
it's good.
the story is good, but the actual fun of playing the game kind of goes away sometimes.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
You know,
But I would say like as a whole, like I do appreciate it. Like from a dramatic perspective, I'm like, I still appreciate this very much. Because sometimes it does get very dark. Like Dragon Quest does sometimes get, it's a very lighthearted game, but sometimes it can get like really messed up. Which is what happens. That's what happens when you have spells like Kazap and Kafrizzle and you make it very kiddie, but then you start murdering children in your game. You're like, what?
But you can still get a puff. Whatever a puff is, and
yeah, whatever that is.
2 slimes, and you're supposed to think you're going in a woman's breasts. I think is what Dragon Quest 11.
That's what puff is. That's what it is. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So you've got the puff on the same side as the Soul Stealer sword killing 5.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Egypt country, and remember there's a Sphinx of some sort in Egypt country.
There is. Yes. Actually, what's crazy
I still have those remakes of the Dragon Quest games for 3DS and DS. I've still kept my 3DS because I also still like those Etrian Odyssey games where you map, use the touch screen as a mapping screen so that you're going through first-person dungeons with like D&D style parties you create.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they're fun.
Oh, those games are great.
They're so good. So yeah, I've got it on my bedside, like always ready if I want to do Etrian Odyssey or those old Dragon Quest remakes with like is it the Artemisia translations where they really focus on the localizations and they're really fun. They give people accents and stuff. But I don't know, these HD remakes are just so damn good. Like
they're really good.
I didn't go back to the ones.
I didn't get 1 and 2. Maybe I should have. Maybe I will at one point. But
I mean, I haven't played them. Like I beat 1. I'm halfway through 2, and I'm still like I just haven't been in a video game mood. But when I am, I'm going to be playing Eugenics, right? Like where you can autistic cats.
Apparently, it's the highest selling game on Steam right now. Trey said that, I think.
It looks so good. I know they made their budget back in 3 hours.
That's insane.
And it's the Binding of Isaac guy. Like, so there's a cat humping animation that I'm looking forward to seeing when your cats get it on in the house.
Great.
And then you can isolate cats in certain rooms so you have all the spellcasters together. And then if you find an autistic cat, you can then breed that in. And you can also pair, or savant is one of the where they have really high intellect and really low everything else. But apparently there's another skill you can give them that caps all stats, as the lowest they can go is average. So your savants turn into average stats, but with like 1 or 2 really high stats and no downsides. So it's a roguelike, it's a cat breeding game. It's sort of like Rogue Legacy meets the Binding of Isaac. I'm excited, but just for people that know both of us, I'm a theater director and I'm directing a play right now, and it's like we lost because of the winter storm. We lost a quarter of our rehearsal time, and we just had our first designer run, and I was like, guys, I don't even know if this is good. And they're like, it's remarkably good considering how little time you've had and the fact that people know their lines and blah, blah, blah. But that's all to say, that's why I'm not playing any games right now. I can't even play D&D right now. There's not enough time in the week.
I get it, man. I get it. It's too much.
But I don't know. We talked about me running something for you and Trey and maybe 1 or 2 people from the Discord. I have figured out once the play's over, I'll probably try to run y'all through Lovecraft-esque. Have you ever played that?
No, what is that?
It is a horror story creator. So basically you role play. So I wouldn't even be GM, I'd be a co-player, but I'd facilitate. And basically you collaboratively come up with a horror story together. And 2nd edition, I've got, hold on. This is Lovecraft-esque for those that can see it. I know my blur is on.
There it is. Yeah.
But I've got the digital copy for Roll20, and it's just you come up with like a Stephen King style or H.P. Lovecraft style horror story. And one of my favorite sessions of all time was I played a game with our friend Billy, his wife, and my friend Mark. And we just, it took us 2 nights to get through it, but we collaboratively came up with a short story that was the death of a Midwestern town when a little boy is chosen to be the corn sacrifice. He's chosen to be the representative of the harvest, and he finds an abducted girl, and they try to make them marry, and he runs away, and the town dies because he didn't continue the rite of prosperity. Really creepy story, but like the game facilitated us playing it. Like and in some scenes you control a character, in some scenes you're like adding to the story. There's cards you can play now. So I don't know. I'm gonna once the play's over, I'm gonna try to do that. We can stream that for anyone who is like curious about non-D&D type games.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I think it would be fun.
That sounds like some creepy Children of the Corn shit, man.
I mean, yeah, and the fact that I would get to play as well as facilitate, like that's really fun.
That does sound really cool.
I definitely kickstarted Lovecraft-esque, so I know I have the system on Roll20. So I just got to learn, because it's 2nd edition now, so I got to learn 2nd edition. But apparently 2nd edition added in card playing mechanics, so you can change scenes up with like, it's cool. So,
I'm down. I like that shit. I love it. I need a good card game. I need a good like D&D card game. I used to play Munchkin all the time.
I was doing Slay the Spire on Steam Deck for a while.
Oh, nice.
And I really liked that. It's like, man, I play a lot of roguelikes now.
You do.
I'm realizing.
You do.
I still haven't beaten Hollow Knight.
Wait, the original Hollow Knight?
I'm in Act 2. I haven't conquered the cogwork platforming section.
Are you talking about Silk Song?
Yeah, Silk Song. Sorry, I beat Hollow Knight. 100% at Hollow Knight.
Okay.
Which now that Silk Song's out, that's not such an awesome achievement.
Jesus
Silk Song's
Christ.
way harder.
Jesus, is it ever? Good God. So wait, you're trapped on what?
I haven't even gotten I haven't even fought Grandmother Silk. Because I need to get the 3rd part of the melody.
Oh, bro.
So I haven't even done that.
You're not even in Act 3. Act 3 is the game. That's when it's like, what is this? How do I
might bow out.
That's hard.
Act 2, it's like,
it is hard.
But I do have Mardi Gras break for the next couple of days, so our university is let out, which is yet another time away from the play I'm directing. So who knows if they'll even come back knowing their lines. We open not this week, but I think the 25th, so 10 days from now is when we open. And it's like, who knows?
What can they do in 10 days? You know.
I mean, I don't know. They can get wild enough in New Orleans that they all forget their lines. They could get shot in New Orleans, right? The murder capital of the United States.
Hey, man. Yeah.
I mean, it does have good Ethiopian food, though. I mean, if you're in New Orleans, Adesnola is where it's at.
God.
But yeah, I don't know. My wife and I are terrified when we only go to New Orleans during the day now. We're not.
That's so sad. Fuck, man.
And I mean, we lived in Baton Rouge, which was number 2 of murders. I checked Facebook tonight, and it's like double shooting. 1 confirmed dead. Like, damn, already? Like,
it's Baton Rouge really? Damn.
Yeah, Baton Rouge got really bad.
It's gotten really bad?
Yeah, it got really bad. So it's just I think we were outranking New Orleans in murders per capita for a while. And so I worked in different inner city schools. There are more gangs active in Baton Rouge than the police know about, because I taught members of them. But that was a common thing. They're the gangs people talk about, then they're the gangs that are new and actually underground. But yeah, it was wild.
God.
This is the weirdest tricks of the trade ever, because
it's very strange. That's all right.
It's very like Talking Heads.
Whenever someone, I know, because both of us went to LSU. If you're watching, you don't know that. Both of us went to LSU. But whenever someone says Baton Rouge now, for some reason my brain always goes to Casino Rouge when I worked on the boat.
You were a dealer. You were a
I was
blackjack
a dealer,
dealer.
I was
I
blackjack
actually,
dealer.
the only time I've been to a casino, I went into your table just so I could support you.
I mean, thank you, but goddamn, you just take money from people. You just take money from people. That's what you do all day.
It's like,
You just take money. I remember one dude got a 7-card straight flush. This was on Fortune Pie Gal, which if you wanna just stew in a casino, you play Fortune Pie Gal. Because like in one hand you might lose $1, and then the next hand you win $1.50, and then you lose $2, and then you win $3. And you just hang out in the casino.
that's kind of cool.
No, I mean for some people it's great. They just like hanging out and they tip you whatever. But there's a bonus bet deal, and this one guy got a 7-card straight flush with a joker, which is a very high payout. And so I scooted 15 grand to this guy across the table. And I was like, and they had, pit bosses come in, checking everything, checking me, checking everything. And they're like, it's legit, you got it.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, I was like, Merry Christmas, dude, because it was close to Christmas. Merry Christmas. And he's like, well,
I'm gonna let it ride.
I guess I'm about even with a casino. And I quit the next week. I was like, that's it, man. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore.
So I have a similar story. I realized I had to go back to grad school. I was working for a funeral home, and I was filing files, and I saw my ex-girlfriend Kara's parents one of them had just passed away, and I was filing it back, and I was like, wait, I've been working here long enough that someone I know has passed through my hands. I applied to grad school to go get a PhD immediately. I was like, nah, bro, can't do it.
No. Yeah, sometimes life just hits you, and you're like, whoa, I gotta make a change.
Yeah, but yeah, I was thinking of doing for y'all either I talked about the Black Company RPG because it was playtesting, and I think there's only like a 5-page system out now.
I need to read those books. I need to read It's based on the Black Company books, right?
Yeah, and those books are really good. I mean, the first book is awesome. It's just like a collection of novellas, and a couple of them like really stick with you. Really fun fantasy world, really dark.
Brandon, what's his name? Brandon?
Yeah. Glenn Cook. This is 80.
Glenn Cook. Oh,
he's a Vietnam vet who was working in a factory, and he wrote the books after his shift. So like it's kind of like the literature book that people read in AP Lit, like The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. Imagine if Tim O'Brien wrote about a mercenary company working for Sauron, and it's all basically just like what he went through in Vietnam. And it's fun. Like it's weird to say something like that's fun, but like there are wizards in the company, and they only do minor magic, but most of the ongoing thing is that they're constantly playing pranks on each other throughout the books, just like soldiers do.
Right.
There's one story, and it's the story that sticks with me from the first Black Company book, and they basically are sent to find a rebel general in a city where they knew he was. So all the company requested was a wagon of gold, and the wizards put all of the gold on display at a dead fountain in the middle of the city, and they put a magic circle around it that the only way you could pass is if you have the head of the rebel general. And then they just drank for 6 months, waiting for someone to crack in the city and deliver the person to them and take the money.
Fuck.
So that's the kind of like fantasy world it is. So I really love it. I love those books, but yeah.
Whoa, dude. Yeah,
those stories are quite good. I'm actually reading some fantasy series right now. That's the one thing I've been able to fit in between rehearsals. So I decided to reread Robin Hobb's sequel to the Live Ship Traders series, which is the Rainwild Chronicles. So like if you haven't read much Robin Hobb, viewers, The Realm of the Elderlings is a 16-book series that goes between two sets of stories, and like the Assassin's Apprentice is technically the first book, but I read the Live Ship Traders series first, which is about talking ships. They're like nautical fantasy, and I'm reading the Rainwild Chronicles, which is the sequel to that, and basically it's just like it's almost like they're going up this crazy river looking for an ancient city. Really fun, really fun. I've read like 1,000 pages this week. So
Did you say it was a 16 book series?
yeah, it's between. So like, there's the trilogy of the assassin trilogy, which is like you meet Fitz Chivalry, the main character. Then the second trilogy is the Live Ship Traders series, which is on another part of the world, where there are these people that live on this tropical coast, and they have ships that their figureheads come to life. They build them out of something called wizard wood, and once 3 generations of people in the family die on the deck of the ship and their blood sinks in, the ship animates, and all of a sudden the masthead or the figurehead can talk.
When was this written?
This was written in, I want to say, the 90s, 2000s.
Oh, that's where they got the idea for. It's definitely where they got the idea in Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Because there's an elven ship that comes to life when there's enough sacrifice to it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's the Live Ship Traders series, and I liked the Assassin series, but I loved the Live Ship Traders stuff because it's got more to do with like exploration and jungles. It's really fun. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I need from the tricks of the trade.
I need a good series. I need you to like give me a couple that I could read.
Okay.
I need a good like trilogy to jump into.
Yeah, dude.
I'm looking for something.
Yeah,
I need something to spark.
For like people that like fantasy, Robin Hobb is like top tier fantasy writer. And just like, you think it's going to be like really traditional Lord of the Rings stuff. No, like these characters get put through hell. And they're quite fun. So I'm gonna eventually read the other series, but I just like the stuff that was with the ships and the pirates and stuff like that. That was what I liked.
Yeah,
at that time. So you
know. Well, if you're just watching, we're talking about resource management.
Yeah, we really are. And D&D, it's really great.
No, we talk about whatever the fuck we want. I don't care. If it goes to different topics, it goes to different topics.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to think like I'm ready to run something other than Dungeons of Drakkenheim. I'm pretty sure I'm going to wrap up my in-person group in the next 3 or so months once we play again, because it's their first campaign ever. It's been a really good campaign, but like I got to figure out what I'm going to run next. And I'm tempted to run Ruins of the Grendel Route by Mike Shea, which is sort of like a Hollow Mountain episodic adventure where there's this thing, and this hundreds of thousands of year old thing inside a hollow mountain, and
what does that mean?
Yeah, it's like there's this Cthulhu-like entity in the center of the mountain, but it isn't like Cthulhu. It's actually, it manifests as spikes that pierce the mountain in different ways. So I don't know, there's some cool stuff in it. I've run a couple adventures from Grendel Route. They're very episodic, and Mike Shea said they're designed to teach a love of heroic role-playing, heroic fantasy role-playing. So I quite like Mike Shea's stuff. For people that don't know who Mike Shea is, that's the lazy DM, the Sly Flourish guy.
Yes, okay, I know you're talking about. Yeah, yes.
And I knew him when he was doing a lot of 4E stuff, because I was very active online and working for Kobold Press during 4E. So that's when I knew all the RPG bloggers and stuff like that. But yeah, Mike Shea is one of my favorite adventure writers right now.
Speaking of another adventure, I'm also going to start. I will start. God, because I ran Planescapers. I've had a lot of people ask me if they want to play it. So I'm going to do that as well.
Is this the 5e adventures from Planescape? Did they release an adventure?
This is my homebrew campaign.
Oh, cool.
Using Planescapers as a campaign backdrop. It's my favorite. There's nothing that's topped it. I love Planescapers so much. I love it so much. If you haven't played Planescapers Torment, if you haven't played it,
Planescape Torment, yeah, that
Planescape Torment,
from the 90s.
You should go play that.
It's really good. Even though it's second edition rules heavily modified, it's still really good.
Yeah. It's very old school D&D. It's if you like BG2, if you like BG3.
Yeah, you'll like Planescape Torment.
Yeah. It's a great game.
You should also go play Arcanum, if you can find it. That's of Steamworks and Magic Obscure.
Oh yes. You introduced me to that game.
That was a really fun game.
That's a game where if you focus on magic, you get worse.
It's broken. Yeah,
you get you get worse at guns and Steamworks and engineering things. And if you focus on engineering things, you get worse at magic.
Yeah, but eventually spells can just not affect you if you're technological enough. But the problem with the game is if you go with magic, you're like 10 times stronger.
Oh, magic's just that good.
You can cast Fireball relatively early, and that trivializes most encounters because there's never a flamethrower tech you can use, and that's equivalent to a Fireball, sadly. But yes, Arcanum was really fun. I think I have that on my Steam account. I'll have to fire that up on the deck if it's deck. It's probably not Steam Deck compatible. What am I talking about? That's a point and click adventure. It's not going to be Steam Deck compatible.
It's a great game.
It's such a good game, though.
Yeah.
I still need to beat Baldur's Gate 3. I'm still on Act 2.
Bro.
Yeah, I know. But I got 20 hours out of it. Like, that's a good run.
I got 230 hours of it. Trey's got
1,000.
Trey's got 1,000 hours on that game. 1,000. Which is it's a lot. But if you love it, you love it.
Hours.
You love it.
I mean, it's the only thing I can say I've spent 1,000+ hours on is like professional wrestling research.
Oh, you've pumped in more than 1,000 hours, Neil.
Easily. Like, I figured it out because, like, during grad school, I subscribed to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, which comes with radio shows and interviews with pro wrestlers. And I turned every commute into a chance to like learn more about wrestling. I've easily listened to a couple thousand hours of like audio.
It's gotta be. I mean, 1,000 hours. 1,000 hours is an hour a day for 3 years.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And you have
way past that. Way past that. I think I listened to an hour and a half today. It was a review of shows I just watched, but I had to like cook for my wife and do stuff. So I was like, I'll just put on this review from Fightful Select of the 2 AEW shows I watched this week that were great.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah,
you gotta beat BG3, man.
I know I do.
It's so good.
I can do multiplayer on it, and
I'm playing for the third time with Trey. And I'm like, this is still it's just the best game ever. It's my favorite game of all time. And I know it got a lot of hype, but like it matches it, and it's the best game of all time.
The only games I think I played that I like more than BG3 are like XCOM, War of the Chosen, like that. Yeah. That's the perfect, like, for people that don't remember XCOM, you're basically running a terrorist organization against alien one world rule. 40 years from now, and it's very fun. So like, I think I like XCOM more. Civ 4 because there was a fantasy mod hack called Fall from Heaven, and the dude that made it now works for Stardock, which is a great 4X developer. But I played the hell out of Civ 4, XCOM, so Fire Access games, and maybe what's the other one I played the most? God, something like Breath of the Wild, probably.
Oh damn! I never got into Breath of the Wild.
Just the greatest video game of all time.
Breath of the Wild.
Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Like,
I need to play it. I still haven't played it. I know.
You still haven't played it?
I haven't played any of it. I know. I love Zelda.
The single best launch game for a console ever. It single-handedly justified buying a Nintendo Switch. And then once you have a Nintendo Switch, it's like, why am I playing things on a TV? I can play on a handheld that's just as good as an HD TV. That's why I have a Steam Deck, like I got a Switch and I'm just like, man, I don't need anything else. I never played PlayStation before. I might, if I get a Switch 2 and they do Clair Obscur for Switch 2 optimized, I would probably rebuy Clair Obscur just so I could play it in the fashion I want.
But you haven't beat that either. You haven't beaten Clair Obscur.
I got an hour and a half into Clair Obscur. I cried at the prologue and I was like, man, this all right, got my money's worth.
Well, Neil, go beat that game. It's only like a 27-hour game or some shit, right? It's a quick game. Apparently, I haven't played. I need to go play it. I know.
I thought I was gonna beat it this summer, but my classes didn't make, so I was just like a kept man by my wife, and I just had to. I was like a housewife. I was like cooking and cleaning like, all day, just like. So I never felt like sitting on the couch and playing Clair Obscur. I was like, that sounds like work. I'm just gonna sleep till 10 every day. Take THC and just like be a kept man.
All right, I need to roll. Speaking of kept man, I need to go.
Yeah, man, you have a good night. Sorry, people, that we didn't talk much about the great topic Trey came up with.
We did talk. We did.
We kind of got talked out of it, though. Honestly, it's like
no, we're fine. No, we'll jump back into it when we want, but no, we'll take a different topic and talk as much as we want. Thank everybody for watching. We'll see you guys.
Did anyone watch?
What's up?
Was anyone watching us?
Yeah, you got people watching all the time.
That's awesome.
We got people jumping in, jumping out. Always. Peace out, everybody.
Who are we sending them to this week? Are we sending our viewers to anyone else when we log off?
Do we have a raid, Trey? May not have enough for a raid. Oh, there we go. Okay, no worries. All right. What's up, Durgo? Thanks for watching, Durgo. Appreciate that.
Definitely.
We'll do this again next week.
Man. It'll be the.
No, we can't do it next week. Trey's out next week. So
no. Okay. Well, next time we do it, I'll tell y'all how my play went.
Okay.
It's I don't have gray hair from it, but I do have gray hair.
Yeah.
Actually, my plans changed, and we can do it next week.
Oh shit! Are you okay,
I'm gonna have some stories then, because we have Tech Weekend.
Okay, let's do it.
And someone suggested on my design team, have you considered putting your own money into this? I was like, no. I haven't. If the university has run out of money for our budget, then we're just gonna have to do without. Because I'm not putting in my money.
No, don't do that.
My wife, when I mentioned it, was like, bleh. Okay, no, I'm talking. We gotta go, guys.
No, you're good, man. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one, and we'll see you. We'll see you next week. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.